Hi everyone, it's Helen Hortai, founder of Form Help, and we are doing an updated version of the New Zealand Traveller Declaration. So as you can see here, we are on the travelerdeclaration.govt.nz website. Now let's have a look at what it says. Now it says the New Zealand Traveller Declaration collects travel, customs, immigration and biosecurity information. It aims to improve the safety and security of New Zealand. Now, it is available for travellers arriving into New Zealand's airports, so you can start your declaration or you can get the NZTD app. Now, what you need to know. Now, it's free. It takes about 10 minutes. You can do it on the NZTD app or online form using your phone or computer. So that's what we're going to be doing in this tutorial. You can complete it up to 24 hours before starting your trip to New Zealand. Now, someone you trust can help you to complete it or do it on your behalf with your permission, of course. Now, a declaration needs to be completed for each traveller, including babies and children. Your digital declaration is linked to your passport and is checked when you arrive at e-gate or by a border officer. There is no QR code issued and you don't need to print anything out. Now, there is a paper declaration form available for travellers who cannot complete it online. Okay, so we've got a welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand video clip there. What you will need to complete your digital declaration. Now, make sure you have information about what you're bringing into New Zealand, your contact details in New Zealand, your flight details, your visa or NZETA if you need one, your passport details, your travel history from the last 30 days. Okay, so make sure you have all of these things ready to go before commencing your application. Now, if you are traveling by sea, travellers by sea are not currently required to complete a digital declaration. Okay, so it's just those by air for now. Now, let's have a look here. So we are going to start our declaration. So let's go ahead and click on there. Now, okay, so you can either start a new declaration, or if you've already started one, then you can edit, but we are going to go to a new declaration. Now, what you need again, so submit your NZTD no more than 24 hours before starting your journey to New Zealand. So if you commence this application, like we'll just say 36 or even 48 hours, it won't let you proceed. So it needs to be within 24 hours of you starting your journey. Now, it says here that they will email you a reference number which you can use to update your declaration at any time up until you reach passport control. Now, answers must be provided in English, and the information you need to provide is, like we covered before, so your passport, your flight details and contact details, including where you will be based in New Zealand, your immigration status if required, details about your trip, including your recent travel history and items you are bringing into New Zealand. Now, it will take approximately 10 minutes to complete, so let's get started. Okay, so you have the options here. Start your declaration, or if you do have permission to start a declaration on behalf of someone else, then you go for this option here. But because we are doing it for ourselves, or in this case for myself, I'm going to go ahead and start the declaration. Now, the privacy policy, how your information may be used, so have a read through that. So your information may be disclosed to other agencies where permitted by law. So have a read of the privacy policy. If you're all happy with that, then you can give this box a tick here. I have read and understood the privacy policy and understand how my personal information is being collected and used. And then once you're happy to proceed, then go to next. Okay, so we come here and it says, please enter your preferred name and contact details. Your preferred name will be used in our communications with you, and it can be different from your passport names. So go ahead and put in your preferred name here. So for this one, it doesn't need to be the name on your actual passport. So my name is Helen. You know, sometimes people call me Hals, so I could put Hals in there. Okay, so put in your preferred name. Go ahead and enter in your email address. Type in your country code. So if you're not sure, just put in the country that you're from. In my case, it's New Zealand. And then go ahead and put in your phone number and then proceed to next. Next, you'll come to this section here, and it wants you to add your trip details. Okay, so for trip details, I am travelling by air, and you don't need to do one by sea anyway. So now let's have a look. Submit your New Zealand traveller declaration no more than 24 hours before starting your journey to New Zealand. Now, date of arrival into New Zealand. If your date of arrival is not listed, you may be too early. Alternatively, you can enter a different date using the link. So remember, you can only start filling out this declaration if you're traveling within 24 hours. Okay, so these are the options here. You're traveling to New Zealand today, tomorrow, or the 16th. Now, if you are traveling outside of these dates, then you do need to enter a different date. Let's have a look. Like if we do, say, we'll say the 17th, we'll put in, oh, it's not there. We'll put in that our arrival date is on the 17th of October 2023. Okay, so you're going to get this message here. It is too early to add your flight details. Please try again 24 hours before starting your journey to New Zealand, all right? Okay, now we're going to go back because I wanted to actually opt for one of the three options that was showing. So I'm going to say it's the 15th of October today, so I'm going to say 16th of October 2023 is the day that I will be arriving back into New Zealand. Okay, so go ahead and put in your flight number. So in this case it's NZ108. Press search and it's found your flight. Now make sure you check your flight details here, and if they're correct, go to save and continue. Next we come to the passport details section. So you need to enter your details as they appear on the passport you are using to enter New Zealand. So go ahead and put in your given or first names as they appear on your passport, as well as your surname or family name. Go ahead and put in your date of birth, so day, month and year. Put in your country of birth, so just type in the country and it will come up with the options. So in this case it will be New Zealand. Go ahead and also put your nationality, so if you're from, say we're from Australia, then put in Australia there. Okay, and then next we will go to put in your passport number, and then go ahead, proceed to save and continue. Then you will come to this section here, and you will need to provide details about the purpose of your travel history, biosecurity items, and restricted items. So we'll start with the purpose of travel. Now some of this information will be collected by Stats New Zealand under the Data and Stats Act 2022. So if you need to read the privacy policy, there's a link here for you to click on. Now the first question, do you live in New Zealand? If it's yes, go ahead and select yes. Now these are the questions you can expect. Now while overseas, which country did you spend the most time in? So start typing from the options available. So in this case it would be Australia. So go ahead and click Australia. Now what was the main reason for your trip? Okay, so you have all these options here. So select the main reason of your trip. Now which country will you most likely live in for the next 12 months? If it's New Zealand, select New Zealand. If it's other, then select other. Next you will need to put in the full contact or residential address in New Zealand. So start typing your address in here and it should show up. If it doesn't, then you can manually enter the address, put in your occupational job, and then proceed to next. Now if you do not live in New Zealand, let's see what it shows. Okay, so if you do not live in New Zealand, do you intend on staying in New Zealand permanently? If you select yes, then you will need to answer these questions here. So in which country did you live, or did you last live for 12 months or more? Then start typing and choose from the options available. So pretty much just like the last one. Now if you say you do not, that you do intend on staying in New Zealand permanently, if you say no, if you select no, then these are the questions you can expect to answer. Now how long do you intend to stay in New Zealand? So put in If it's years, months, days, then make sure you put a number in there. Now, what is your main reason for coming to New Zealand? Select from these options here. And again, same questions as the last one. So, in which country did you last live for 12 months or more? And then fill in all of that, and then proceed to next. Now, for this example, do you live in New Zealand? Yes. Okay. Now, once you have filled in the section for the purpose of your travel, and then proceed to next. Okay, so we can see here that the purpose of the travel has been completed. Let's go to travel history. Now it says list the countries you have been to outside of New Zealand in the last 30 days, including in transit. Now the country you are arriving from is Australia in this example. That is correct. Now tell us what other countries you have visited. Now if you have visited other countries within the last 30 days, then go ahead and put in the additional countries. So for this example, I will say I've been to South Africa, maybe the US, what's another one? Go Great Britain, United Kingdom. Okay, and then you can proceed to next, but for this example, I haven't been to any other country, so I will just proceed to next. Now we can see that the purpose of travel and travel history has been completed. Let's go to the biosecurity items. Now it says, please answer the following questions about items that you are bringing into New Zealand. Some items can carry unwanted pests or diseases, and you can update this section at any time before passports control. After passports control, information about biosecurity items can be updated by speaking to a biosecurity officer. Now you must declare the following: all risk items like food, plants, wooden products, soil, water, outdoor equipment, and animal products. Prohibited and restricted items like products from endangered animal or plant species. Now you can check if you can bring or send an item to New Zealand. So if we click on that link there, it will take us to this page here. So you'll be able to check to see what you can bring or send to New Zealand. Okay, so we'll go back. So declared risk items may be inspected by a border officer, and you will be able to dispose of risk items in marked biosecurity bins on arrival in New Zealand. Now you only need to declare an item once. You do not need to declare the same thing in multiple categories. Now, are you bringing into New Zealand any food? Cooked, uncooked, fresh, preserved, packaged or dried? Now don't forget that food that is ready to eat, such as snacks from the aircraft, those are included as well. So if you select yes, then it will ask, is the food chocolate, sweets, lollies? If it is, then select there. Potato chips, processed nuts, other. If any of those apply, then make sure to tick them. But in this case, I'm going to say no. Now for animals or animal products, including meat, dairy products, fish, honey, bee products, eggs, feathers, shells, raw wool, skins, bones or insects. If you say yes, then nothing else comes up. No, in this case it's going to be no. Plant or plant products. So if you have any of the following: fruit, flowers, seeds, bulbs, wood, bark, leaves, nuts, vegetables, parts of plants, fungi, cane, bamboo or straw, including for religious offerings or medical use. Don't forget plant-based ingredients such as herbs and spices used to prepare meals, soups, teas and tonics. Also include souvenirs or cultural items such as tapa mats. Okay, so if I do have any of those, I'll say yes, and if I don't, it will be no. Biological products: animal medicines, biological cultures, organisms, soil or water. Drinking water doesn't need to be declared, so if you have any of those biological products, select yes. If no, then no. Now equipment: Equipment, clothing used with animals, plants, or water, including for gardening, beekeeping, fishing, water sports, or diving activities. If you've got any of those, select yes. If no, then no. Now, outdoor gear. Items that have been used for outdoor activities, including any footwear, tents, camping, hunting, hiking, golf, or sports equipment. Now, there is no need to declare brand new equipment or skiing and snowboarding gear. Now, for outdoor gear, if you have any of those items and you select yes, then it has a whole list here for you to select from. And if it's no, in my case it's a no, then no. Now, in the past 30 days while outside of New Zealand, have you visited any wilderness areas, had contact with animals, except domestic cats and dogs, or visited properties that farm or process animals or plants? There is no need to declare visits to zoos or marine parks. Now, if it's a yes, it's a yes. If it's a no, then it's no. And then proceed to next. Okay, now we have this last section here, restricted items. So let's go ahead and select to that. Now it says, please answer the following questions about items that you are bringing into New Zealand. Some items are prohibited and cannot be brought into New Zealand, and some require approval to import. Now if you want to read about prohibited and restricted items, click on that link and there's lots of information there for you to read. Okay, so let's have a look. Are you bringing into New Zealand medicine over 3 months supply or medicine not prescribed to you? If that's a yes, then it's a yes. If it's a no, then it's a no. Restricted or prohibited goods, for example, weapons, indecent publications, endangered plants or wildlife, illegal or controlled drugs. Yes, no. Alcohol, more than 3 bottles of spirits, not exceeding 1.125 litres each, and 4.5 litres of wine or beer. If you need to check the alcohol duty-free limits, then there's a link there. So select yes or no. I'm going to select no. Tobacco, more than 50 cigarettes or 50 grams of tobacco products, including a mixture of cigarettes and other tobacco products. If you need to check the tobacco duty-free limits, then do so there. In this case, it's going to be a no. Goods obtained overseas or duty-free items. So goods obtained overseas and or purchased duty-free in New Zealand with a total value of more than $700, including gifts. That's 700 New Zealand dollars. Select yes or no. In my case, it's a no. Goods carried for business or commercial use. This includes goods you plan to sell, tools of trade or items used in your employment. So you can read the advice for commercial items here. In my case, it's going to be a no. Goods carried on behalf of another person. If you're carrying any goods, then select yes. If you're not, then no. Now cash, New Zealand $10,000 or more or foreign equivalent, including travellers' checks, bank drafts, money, orders, etc. You are allowed to bring more than 10,000 New Zealand dollars. It is not an offence as long as you declare it, okay? So if you have $10,000 like I do, then select yes. But if it's no, like I do, because I lied, no, I don't have 10,000 New Zealand dollars to bring in, so that's a no for me. Okay, let's proceed to next once you've completed that section. Now, once you have finished that part there, you'll see that it has your New Zealand Traveller Declaration, your flight details there, has your personal details in this section, your passport details. If you need to edit any of these sections, you can do. And it will also show you the sections that you have completed. And then once you are happy with all of that, you can proceed to submit. Now, because this is just an example, I'm pretty sure you will get an email to confirm that your NZ Traveller Declaration has been received, and you will have more information on what you need to do next. Okay, thanks for listening. Hopefully this tutorial has been helpful for those who needed help to go through it. All the best on your travels and have a good one.